Good morning. Welcome to the 21st Century Literature from the Philippines and the world. I am Ma'am Shayami Villadolit, your English language teacher for today. Today, the focus of our lesson is the Philippine literature during the American period to contemporary period. But before anything else, don't forget to prepare your notebooks, pen, and modules. The most essential learning competency for this lesson is identify the geographic, linguistic, and ethnic dimension of the Philippine literary history from pre-colonial to contemporary. At the end of the lesson, the learner identifies literary works according to the geographic and linguistic feature and lists down some literary works during the American period and contemporary period. Are you ready for our first activity? Let's begin! Directions. Here are some literary pieces you've learned and encountered in our previous lesson. You have to identify the historical period each Philippine literature belongs. This time, you're going to use your notebook to answer the activity. I'll be giving you 30 seconds to work on that. Are you ready? Let's begin! Time's up! Let's see your answers. Under pre-colonial period are the following: ambahan, panuluyan, mga bugtong, tanaga, biyag ni Lamang, and salawikain. Under the Spanish period, we have Florante and Laura, Sinaculo, Moro Moro, and Noli Me Tangere. Did you get the right answer? That's great! Now this time, before we proceed to our lesson this morning, let's do another activity. Are you ready? Let's begin! Directions. Predict the historical period indicated in the following statements. Identify whether it's in American period or contemporary period based on the characteristics given in each statement. You will be given 10 seconds to work on each item. Are you ready? Let's begin! Number 1. During this period, writers are grouped into 3. Spanish writers, Filipino writers, and English writers. Your time starts now. Time's up. Let's see your answers. Number 2. Writers in this period were accustomed to write on nationalism like honoring Rizal and other heroes. Your time starts now. Time's up. Let's see your answers. Number 3. Poets during this period were categorized by 3. Poets of the heart, makata ng puso, poets of life, makata ng buhay, and poets of stage, makata ng tanghalan. Your time starts now. Time's up. Let's see your answers. Number 4. Writers in this period imitated the themes and methods of American writers. Your time starts now. Time's up. Let's see your answers. Number 5. During this period, the flowering of Philippine literature in the various languages continues, especially with the appearance of new publications after the martial law years and the resurgence of committed literature. Your time starts now. Time's up. Let's see your answers. Flashed on your screen is a Philippine literary history timeline from pre-colonial to contemporary period. The literature in the pre-colonial period is based on oral tradition. During Spanish colonial period, literature has two distinct classifications, namely the religious and secular. The significant events in this period planted seeds of nationalism in Filipinos, creating two literary forms, namely the propaganda literature and the revolutionary. In today's lesson, we will be focusing on the development of literature during American and contemporary period. The period of American colonization made a gradual decline of the Philippine literature written in Spanish. Also, the English language eventually became the medium of writing and instruction in schools. The literature theme varies from nationalism, freedom of speech, experiences, and desire for freedom. During the American era, writers are grouped into three. First one, the Spanish writers who were accustomed to write on nationalism, like honoring Rizal and other heroes. The second one are the Filipino writers who continued the lamentations on the conditions of the country and their attempts to arouse love for one's native tongue. Featuring writers who are poets of the heart, or makata ng puso, poets of life, or makata ng buhay, and poets of the stage, or makata ng tanghalan. And finally, the English writers who imitated the themes and methods of the Americans. Here are some of the well-known authors during the American colonial period and their famous works. The flowering of the Philippine literature in the various language continued, especially with the appearance of new publications after the martial law years and the resurgence of the committed literature in 1960s and the 1970s. This is during the contemporary period. Filipino writers became more engaged in workshops here and abroad, not to mention the availability of mass media and internet. Here are some of the well-known authors during the contemporary period and their famous works. To become more familiar with the American and contemporary period, let's do Activity 3. This time, you will be needing your 21st century SLMs. Turn to page 20, Activity 1 of What's More. You will be given 30 seconds to work on the activity. Are you ready? Let's begin! Time's up. Let's see your answers. Now, to be more familiar with the two literary periods, let's do activity 4. This activity, you will still be needing your SLMs. Turn to page 20, activity 2 of What's More. Each item will be given 5 seconds to answer. You just have to identify whether the writer belongs to the American period or the contemporary period. AP if it is American period and CP if it is from contemporary period. Write your answers on your notebooks. Are you ready? Let's begin! All correctly? That's great! It is really wonderful to know the different influences in our literature. To sum it up, let's do activity 5. Directions. Arrange the timeline from the earliest period to the latest historical period, using the given illustrations and complete the statements describing each period. You will be given 30 seconds to work on the activity. Are you ready? Let's begin! Activity correctly? Well, that's great! This time, let's do our last activity. Directions. Using any social media platform, create a post that reflects your opinion on the idea given. Make sure to adhere to the rubrics provided. Customize your post by tagging your teacher in the subject and preferred audience. The idea is, the pandemic caused a lot of health, and even safety. Why is it still necessary for a student like you to learn the Philippine literature history despite our present situation? Hope you enjoyed our lesson. Thank you and have a great day. Again, this is Ma'am Shayami Villadolid, your English language teacher for today.